What would be an iOS roadmap for anyone who wants to learn iOS? On which visa type you move to Singapore?
Employment pass visa.
When you know one language, it's become easy for you to learn another one.
So if we write the code, like everyone should be able to read and everyone should be able to understand.
When you moved to Singapore, what were the challenges you faced?
Improve my skills in a short period of time.
Because more tech stack knowledge you have, more opportunity opens for you.
If we are writing one feature, how we can improve the user experience.
So anyone who is trying to move from junior to intermediate, having this skill set of being a team player is very important. Which architecture is essential for this particular feature or this particular task or this particular project?
Like TCA is like one of the best architecture I think we should follow.
Have you got a chance to work on AI helper?
One of my favorite tool is 𝐾𝐨𝐻. Cloud Code, yeah, it's one of the best tools so far.
How do you draw the line between engineering detail and the user experience? Communicating with other team, think from a user experience, think like a product manager.
Maybe like don't just follow the tutorials, do some real apps.
Make more mistakes, learn from them.
Maybe for iOS mean like Swift UI, it's like basic foundation.
If we take a lot of help of AI, if we use a lot of AI tools to get our job done, we will definitely be having productivity in our life, but what about our mind to think? Hi Ahil, thank you for your time today. How are you?
Hey, yeah, hi Keshav. I'm doing great. How are you?
I'm doing good too, thank you. We will have some peaceful conversation about iOS journey. In this podcast,
Yeah.
we'll get to know your journey into iOS development, how you started, and what advice you want to give, and how people can learn from your journey. So this is gonna be a fun conversation.
Yeah, I want to learn from yourself as well. You are in Japan, correct?
Oh, that's right. Yes.
But Japan is like more famous for like like technology, correct? Maybe I want to learn from more.
Great. Let's learn from each other. So, I'm really excited to know your journey into iOS space, how it started, how you moved to iOS, when it started. Was it you were already working for some technology and then you moved to iOS, or you just started working in iOS itself only?
Yeah, actually, I'm a native Android developer at the start. And when I working in like one startup company called Asbo, so one of the developer left the company. I got opportunity to take iOS as well. The iOS project is already there, but I need to do some feature enhancement and some changes. So like comparing both Android code and iOS code is like very easy. We can learn like compare and learn together. Like one of the best way to learn iOS for me personally.
So you were like, you already knowing that how that code has been written in Android. For example,
Android.
if one screen is giving back a control to another screen and giving that callbacks and everything, you know that, okay, you have to do callbacks in iOS also, and you were doing it in that way. I mean, that made the life easier, you know. Anyone who is into iOS as a beginner, they would have to think about what are the ways that you can pass on data from one place to another place. But you got that help, head start in, we can say.
Yeah, perfect. For example, correct. For one feature, I know like I am passing this data. So in iOS also it should be there. The code is already there. So I know the place. Okay, in this place the data should be show go from here to here. So I can go and read the code, and it's like easy way to compare and learn. It's the best way.
I always say, like, when you know one language, it's become easy for you to learn another one,
Yeah, perfect. One solid foundation is necessary. Any language. Yeah.
right? Because that will make the learning easy for another one because you know everything, like how, because the fundamentals are same everywhere.
Everywhere is same.
But then what inspired you to choose iOS and continue with iOS than Android, and you left Android behind?
Actually, I would say time and opportunity. For me personally, iOS development is like easier than Android. In the previous maybe like 8 years back. So in 8 years back, I was writing code in Java and designing in XML. It's like old school of writing code, and like there's a lot of issues will be there. Like if we are using Java, like lot of null point exception issues crashes. And yeah, it's like too hard to maintain Android project. But in iOS, side, correct. So it's like very smooth process. So we can easily maintain, and there will be no production issues. So like, we don't need to be stressed. Okay, this production issues are there. Like we need to fix it. So these are like positive side. But I personally correct now both are in like strong position in Kotlin. and Jetpack Compose. It's like our Swift UI and Swift, like a strong foundation. Both should be like easy to learn, and there will be no much issues learning these tools. Yeah.
Null pointer exception in production, right? I mean, the similar problem people were facing in Objective-C. So that's how you continue in iOS, and then you left Android at that time. And you found it easy to learn. And also, one more thing was like Android, you have a lot of devices. So you have to check working of the code on all the devices. Right now, iOS is coming with those Pro Max, Pro, and like just normal or mini or kind of like that. But back in that time, it was like having just iPhone 5, 5S, something like that, and then you just have to you don't have to check on all the devices. So that also made the life easy. And that too, in Android, all the OS works different. Like for example, the same feature will work different on Samsung and then different on Oppo. So you have to take care of those. Yeah. That too also, right? I mean, I'm just giving because you have worked on in Android, so you can correct me wherever I'm getting wrong.
Yeah, perfect. And now an Android got some foldable devices as well. So designing for them, it's harder.
All right. Like, what was the first iOS app you made?
My first app I start from scratch is like a Rocket Recharger. It's like OCR. There's a top-up cards there. We need to scratch it and get the number, and we type it and recharge. So what we need to do is just we need to scan this from the mobile, basically optical character recognition. So it will get the text, and we will add like hashtag, whatever the service provider that IDs to recharge. And one click, they can recharge the phone.
Scratch, get the number. We don't have to write that number on our. It will just take it from the OCR.
I'm like more than 50,000 download at the time, and also listed in the App Store, like top trending apps or something.
Great. But then when you were learning iOS as a beginner, which resources? Because I believe that you said that you took the help of referencing the Android code to understand where the functionalities are in iOS code base. But to understand iOS in general, to learn about iOS, which resources you followed that time? Did you follow any resources?
I learned with some Swift documentation. At the time, like I want to watch some videos. So I don't know nothing, but I want to watch some funny, entertaining videos. And like in Udacity, I learned actually Android from there as well. Like, and also I guess in Udacity only that there's iOS Nano degree. That one course we need to pay for that. Udemy also. iOS bootcamp. So that course also like very useful for me at the time. There's a lot of resources are now there. But with now, correct, our learning is like more different. We can learn from AI.
Oh, that's true. For example, if I'm not able to understand things from the generic places, blog or any kind of official documentation, I go to AI and tell them explain me in a very layman way, and explains me with proper examples so that I can understand it. With AI, anyone who wants to learn things on their own, it's the correct time because your learning will be more and fun and fast.
Yeah, let's Google Notebook LLM. We can ask voice assistant in the code. Like maybe like we can prepare the script and create our own podcast and listen to it. So there's a lot of ways to learn now.
Exactly. Okay. When you were fresher getting into that, becoming a junior iOS developer or junior developer, what skills do you think a fresher should have who wants to get into the industry and becoming a developer? Must have a skill to really rise in career quickly. They don't have to spend a lot of time in industry to realize this.
In my point of view, they need to know the basic foundation of computer science, basically solid principles, that object-oriented programmings, and basic for if it's an iOS developer, like the Swift foundation is like must, and SwiftUI is also like future. SwiftUI also like must mandatory skills now, and also like for fresher, they will not have much experience. They should have some problem solving skills like data structure algorithms. It will be like good to have or must to have. If you want to grow quickly, correct, the communication is the key skill. And we need to showcase our skills, and we need to collaborate with team to like in a nice way. So these are like some skills I can think of.
Great. So there are two things you said. One is technical part and the soft skills, that is communication and how we present ourselves, how we sell ourselves. On the technical side, you said that take care of your problem solving skill, that is data structures and algorithm. Go for it, learn all about data structures and all the algorithms that they are giving us. Also operating systems, OOPS principle in general, because all the programs nowadays are like object oriented. And if you're into iOS, Swift is very important. If you are learning iOS development now, go for Swift UI, then for UIKit. Swift UI, learning Swift UI is easier than �UI_Kit because you don't have to correct. You don't have to take care of like how layout engine works and when the event lifecycle happens, like we used to do layouts of views and view layout if needed kind of thing, right? Anyone who is into software industry, learn data structure algorithm, operating system, OOPS concept. These three are mandatory if you're getting into iOS itself. Apart from this, additionally, you should learn the Swift UI, and Xcode. That is like how to operate the Xcode. When you were a beginner, what mistakes you think you made and you could have avoided it? You don't want other developers to repeat the same mistake.
I may made a lot of mistakes. My mindset was like, I just want to finish the task, just writing messy code, not following any architecture, and maybe like not writing unit tests properly, and not think about like scalability, how we can maintain this for a long time. It's like beginner mistakes. Not sure like I made, sure everyone may make, yeah. Maybe like in the long run, correct? We realize okay, this will not work. So finishing one task, so it's actually hard for us as well. So if we write the code, like everyone should be able to read and everyone should be able to understand. So otherwise, like we need to be there to help everyone. And also like maintenance, it's like very easy if we do everything properly. We can easily adapt, like enhance to a new feature. Basically, like we can make scalable. Basically, I got some lot of issues here. I write some code which is not more scalable, so we can't reuse it in some other places. We can't scale it. So these are like because of like not proper thinking, not proper architecture.
Got it. The real cost comes when we have been told to change or enhance a feature. How much time it will take, how much resources it will take exactly tells us like the real cost of the product that we have built. Okay, that's a great point for a junior developer who wants to start and thinking from this particular perspective.
At the start, I was just watching the videos only, not writing code or something. Then I built some habits. Maybe like I'm watching some tutorials and maybe iOS bootcamp or something. There'll be a lot of apps they are building. I will get the idea, do my innovation, do some modification and create a new app similar to that one. Maybe like in the bootcamp, they will teach you about 30 apps. At the end of the day, like you have like 30 apps, your personal apps, not their idea. You get that code and understand it and just do some modification and create your own apps. We will do it for one day, but we will not continuously doing to improve that one correct. What I did was I just commit in the GitHub. Maybe like in the GitHub, we can see like the commit history. I will put some goal. Okay, this 7 days I will continuously commit this code, do some projects. So this kind of things, this motivates me to be consistent.
So tricking yourself, challenging yourself, that will give you an also edge that you must be thinking that okay, what possible changes you can make to this particular app that you have built in bootcamp, so that it also forces your mind to come up with different ideas, no matter how small it is, but you're doing and going in that direction.
Yeah, correct.
Great. And then you started your journey in Sri Lanka and you moved to Singapore. So when did this happen? Like in which year you moved to Singapore?
I was working for KPMG Sri Lanka. It's for iOS app actually. So I was applying for both Android and iOS job roles from Singapore, Sri Lanka. So I got an offer for Android project with Accenture to work in a banking app called.
So you were working as an iOS engineer. You got an opportunity for Android. You cleared the interview for Android and you moved there. And you were working in Android and then you again switched back to iOS.
In Accenture, my first project is Android. The next project, tell my interest. So I got opportunity to work with iOS project as well. So from there, I think more than 6 years to get continuously, I'm mainly in iOS only.
Yeah, that's fun. That's the good point of having knowledge of two different tech stack, because more tech stack knowledge you have, more opportunity opens for you. In this case, what happens to you, right? Because you were knowing Android, it opens a door to move to Singapore. And when you moved to Singapore, what were the challenges you faced? Whatever the struggles, if there was any struggles, if like you wanted to share, you want to share?
Professionally, I think I need to be like improve my skills in a short period of time, because I was working with a very small team. Maybe like in the startup companies, I am the only iOS developer. When come to Accenture with the UOB bank, so it's a banking app. So like security. So I mean like it's a big team as well. I think 20 plus Android developers are there. So like we need to write unit tests very carefully. Like basically every pull request should have code coverage more than 90%. So and like the code review will be like very hard, and we need to like follow the standard like the basically the I told solid principles, developing concepts. Basically the full professional way we need to do it. Some professional how we can write scalable codes, performance code, like secure codes. That was like very challenging at the start. We improved ourselves. Yeah.
We can say that in Sri Lanka, we were like a developer who just develop and complete a task, and then we become a real engineer when we think of different scenarios before completing a requirement, thinking of will this requirement will fail in any scenario, what will happen. So all those kind of thinking, correct? Okay, got it. Okay. And so when you move to to Singapore, like on which visa type you move to Singapore?
Normally, like employment pass visa, like most of the IT professionals will be under the employment pass visa. The minimum salary requirement should be more than 5,000.
So if a company, if I get a job in Singapore and company gives me an offer of 5,000 Singapore dollar per month, I'm eligible to get employment pass visa, correct?
There was some website to get you a minimum salary for EP. So I couldn't able to recall the name, but you can like easily check. You ask ChatGPT, it will give the how to check the minimum salary for this employment pass. It will get the link. From there, you can see like for that you need to enter some details like which university, how many years you have experience.
University could be in our home country.
Yeah.
And what about the other visa types? Do they have other visa types also, or no? Just the
No. There's something called like S-Pass also. Maybe like for the junior developers, maybe like the salary less than 5,000, they will be under the S-Pass. I guess there's some other visa type as well. I guess PEP, personalized employment visa, for the persons like earning more than 25,000, I guess.
Got it. So two types of visa, EP and S-Pass, correct? And what is the duration of those visa? Like
Yeah, for EP and S-Pass, both like for first year, first time when you are applying for it's a new visa, it will maximum 2 years only, valid for 2 years. After 2 years, like our company will be renewing, so it can go up to 3 years. It's up to company. Like they can decide. I can when I am renewing, I think our budget is for like 1 year, so they can give 1 year visa as well. But maximum is 3.
but if you want to change the company in between, then what is the procedure? Like you have to again apply for a visa because the new company will company will sponsor that. Okay.
When we are switching the company, this company will be like canceling the visa. Before canceling the visa, the new company can apply for the visa. When the new company visa is approved, you can ask this employer to cancel also.
Great. Tell us about the iOS ecosystem in Singapore.
In Southeast Asia, like Singapore is like first Apple developer center is there. So we have developer center there. Like we normally we go to workshops also frequently. So one of the SwiftUI workshop, we got some surprise. So Tim Cook visited us. So it was like one of the best experience in my life. When we see the real leaders, correct, we can feel some vibes. So it's like awesome. Yeah.
And then also you get inspiration to become like such leader in future, right? Great. From your experience, what you want to tell to other developers who wants to move to another country, who wants to move to abroad for job?
The skills matter. Yes, we need to prove ourselves. Like we need to build our skills first, and also like we need to build some solid resume. And like now the LinkedIn is must. Like we need to polish our LinkedIn, and LinkedIn should be like perfect. We should build some portfolio as well. Maybe like some personal websites to show you all talents, all your works, all the apps you worked on. So it's like make you unique. Apply from like a lot of job searching websites are there. There's a monster.com, job street, jobsdb, and Indeed, and the main is LinkedIn. Basically, like we can connect from some other developers from Singapore, from the LinkedIn, I think, and also like from HR, we can connect. The maybe some one of the tricky ways, like if we can get the HR email address for the job vacancy, you just directly send the mail to them. And also like if we can get some reference from friends, it's like super easy.
So anyone who wants to move to another country or like Singapore particularly, maybe look for like building a solid skill set. Have a proper presentation of your portfolio, like what you have worked on, how you're showcasing it. Have a great detailed LinkedIn profile, and then try to approach the HRs and if you get a reference, that would be good. And then try to apply on LinkedIn. Other than LinkedIn, apply on Monster and Indeed, right?
Yeah,
Now,
yeah,
when you moved to Singapore, you were like you said that you got the sense that you have to think from a perspective of other developers, perspective of maintainability of the code, from the perspective of scalability of the code, right? What differences, like, like you said that you were facing those challenges in the beginning professionally when you moved to Singapore, because you have to think as a proper conduct and write code in a proper way, how a software engineer should write. What changes you would recommend to anyone who is moving from a junior development to an intermediate development? What changes in the mindset they should make? For you, it was new to you that okay, you have to write a code in a way, right? But if you knew it beforehand only, it would have been easier for you. So,
yeah.
like, what mindset would you suggest to the people who wants to move from junior developer to the intermediate developer?
Like I said, just don't work to finish the task on time. Maybe like even writing code, we need to think about like what architecture we need to choose, how we can write this code more clean, how we can write this code so that we can reuse in other places. So how we can make it like scalable. So these are like basic mindsets we need to be there, and also we need to think about like user experience as well, basically. So if we are writing one feature, how we can improve the user experience. A lot of our goals are like to engaging the users, which is like easy to use basically, like follow the Apple human interface guidelines. So I'm like we need to be like having some understanding of overall everything like basically.
That's a good thing that you said, like having the understanding of HIG, Human Interface Guidelines of Apple,
Yeah.
right? Thinking from a perspective of, like you already said it, like from the code, like how will you write code. Other than that, what do you think about, writing or doing things apart from code and architecture? For example, like talking to backend people, talking to designers, talking to like you talk about, right, user experience, right? So these things you have to think about, and you have to communicate, for example, to the product manager. So where do you think these things come into picture, and where how smoothly we can handle these things?
Okay, actually, this is a teamwork. Maybe like in our companies, basically. So what we do is like from ideation, brainstorming, designing. So in every phase, maybe the developers will be there. So like we got the responsibilities. So it's like iterative approach. So we come with something, and maybe like if designers coming with something, we cannot able to do that kind of things. So we can do it early. Like we can inform them, okay, this is hard for us to do. So this is like collaborative approach for most of the companies in here maybe. So we follow some standard thing. Basically, our designers will be like well prepared. Basically, like when they are coming up with design, so they will be having dark mode, light mode, iPhone, iPad, portrait, landscape, every supports, and they will give everything in detail. For example, if the line exceed 2 lines, what how the UI looks like, maybe like what's the prototype, they will design like okay, when scrolling this the navigation bar type item should be there, so they will be designing the prototype. So everything will be like detailed, so like we don't need to inform them every time, okay, remind them, okay. And also like if some issues clarification, we can directly comment in the Figma and get the input, and we can directly communicate with our product manager as well. So backend team, we will be writing some API contract. So if the API is not ready, like we'll be like mocking up the JSON in the locally, or like we will use some local host to host the local server. So yeah, it's like a team effort basically.
Great. So anyone who is trying to move from junior to intermediate, having this skill set of being a team player is very important.
Yeah.
To not block the task if API is not complete, just have a contract with the backend and create the local JSON file if they want to, mock responses if online available. Use that to get the task going and completing. Great.
Got it. Yeah.
And how about you think of architecture? Like, for example, which architecture is essential for this particular feature or this particular task or this particular project? Is it comes under anyone who is like you were working solo, so you're having an independent authority to decide whatever you want to do. But when you're working in a team, it comes with a lot of if and buts, right? How do you decide the architecture when you are the one who has a decision taking you know decision maker?
Yeah, actually, this is a team effort. We did some app called Thamal Murasu. It's a built-in Swift UI purely. So previously, we planned to build our own architecture like TCA. Because of time limitation, creating the library and doing the feature together, it's taking too much time. So with a team effort only. For Swift UI, I think like TCA is like one of the best architecture I think we should follow. Maybe like I am talking about Swift UI apps. Maybe like UI kit apps we can. There's a lot of frame architecture like VIP, Wi-Fi if it's for a big apps. But for Swift UI, I'm talking about Swift UI as is a future. Maybe like for Swift UI, personally, I feel like TCA is the best library, best architecture to follow. Yeah.
Got it. Great. We are into the AI era, and a lot of task is being done by AI for us. Like, have you got a chance to work on any of the AI helper, code helper like Cursor, Windsurf?
Yeah.
Do you have any story to share?
Yeah, actually, this is my maybe like favorite part of this. I love basically AI tools. One of my favorite tool is like Cursor. So Cursor, like I built some personal apps. I built entirely using Cursor. It's like not vibe coding. So it's like like the proper architecture, proper prompting, and doing the task step by step. We are using AI for everywhere, I guess now. For the coding, we are using Cursor, Windsurf, GitHub Copilot. Now the Cloud Code, yeah, it's one of the best tools so far. Before writing code, it will get the requirements. After every requirement is sorted, it will write the code. This is for coding. For the image generation, graphic image generation, I did some personal apps. So I was using Midjourney for the AI like 3D illustration or maybe like consistent characters you can design. So this kind of things I use Midjourney. Even Figma also they have AI integrated to design the screen, and they say MCP server we can easily integrate and write the code easily from the Cursor or Android Studio or anywhere.
I really wanted to know, you said like you're working on your own product, right? What is that product?
Okay, my product is like called Champ AI, personalized AI health tracker. So it's like now a lot of people are not happy in the life and struggling because of social media, negativity, and lot of addiction, and lot of issues are there. Like misuse, like a lot of mental health issues, a lot of suicide rates. The reason is like they don't have the real purpose of the life. They don't know like how to live basically. I read some book called Atomic Habits and Miracle of Morning. In the Miracle of Morning, like 6 habits will change your life. So that habits from the AI agents. So I am building some customized AI chat agents. You can practice meditation from the app and you can track the progress also. My first step is like be positive and healthy. This is like advanced AI version of this app. So this app I built for myself personally at the beginning, at the young age, correct? Just scrolling in the social media is waste of time. So we don't know like how to use the time in productive manner. So this is like go through app for that. Yeah.
Got it. That's great. So is it available on the App Store?
Yeah. Actually, I released in 2 months back.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow. So people can install it. Is it free or do you have in-app subscription as well for this?
It's free only, but it's free means like there's in-app purchase as well, but you can go with the free features. You can access the whole features with free.
So circling back to that AI agents and AI helpful tools, right? You worked with Cursor, you worked with Windsurf, you worked with Cloud Code, and you found Cloud Code the best so far, is it? Right?
Yeah.
But I have one thing, like, we are using GitHub Copilot, which is helping us a lot, increasing our productivity for sure. But just correct me, it is just my thought that if we take a lot of help of AI, we will stop using our mind to find the solution. We'll be productive for sure, definitely. One of the thing is like if you go to a supermarket over here, and like for example the bill of any product is 5,500 and you give them a note of 10,000, the machine, they will enter 10,000, the machine will say that hey, you have to return 4,500 to the user, right? But back in our country we were using this in our mind itself that hey, if it is 5,500, I give you the note of 10,000, we'll get back 4,500. So we are doing it. I know there is a risk of getting error. Human errors are possible in that particular case, but I have a strong sense here that, hey, if we use a lot of AI tools to get our job done, we will definitely be having productivity in our life, but what about our mind to think? What will our mind do then?
Yeah, actually, I agree with you. For me personally, correct. The way of thinking is should be different. Maybe like if you are in a big position. So if you are a beginner, like you write code, correct. If you are in a like leader or something, you frequently write code and reviewing the code frequently. Just reviewing the code. This kind of mindset, like technology, AI should be our servant, not the master. Maybe like we should tell them, okay, do this, do this. If you are doing a feature, we tell the AI, okay, so these are my requirements, follow this architecture. We should be tell them, maybe like we can get some input from AI as well, like it will give some ideas. For example, when I work with my project, so I will not think about a lot of edge cases. Okay, so for me what I do is, okay, I will give the requirement and I will tell, okay, analyze this requirement and go through my projects and like ask me like 5 questions or 10 questions before you are making any changes or something. So it will be thinking, it will be getting some more ideas, like our creativity. It will be like, actually it will increase my, for me personally, that mean like not only that, this kind of things. For example, I want to do some performance improvement. So, okay, so tell me like what are the performance issues here, how I can optimize it. Maybe like what are security issues are here. Yeah, I'm 100% agree. Like we should be not 100% be like depending on the code. I don't like believe like one prompt will like write the whole project. I don't like the positive parts of like cursor and everything, correct. It will read our code base. Okay, we are following this architecture. We are writing this kind of code. So it will follow our standard only. So for example, I will tell some funny story. So previously in my personal project, I just put print area for debugging. So when I ask cursor, it will like it will put like print also. Okay. So later I refactored. I just replaced all the print with a debug print. Okay. So when cursor is writing, it will put debug print as well. So it will not put print. So it's like more, it's like how we write the code basically.
So basically, it adapts to your code style, code writing style. As you said, like for example, if the code is still being written by AI or AI tools, and humans are reviewing it, in that case, one should have the knowledge of the code and the and the the technology so that they can review it well, right? So still you are taking help of AI to write the code, but to review that this task is correct or not, or the AI, what that AI job has done is correct or not, you have to have the understanding. So you cannot go out of the understanding. You have to make that understanding. No?
Yeah, perfect. Yeah.
So you talk about your product, how different it was when you are working on your own product, building app for your own and building an app for the company.
So for my project, correct, my solo project, so I am the designer, developer, product manager. I need to take the all responsibility, do the marketing. So here, correct, I learned a lot of things. For example, App Store search engine optimization, how App Store ads, how we can efficiently run the App Store ads campaign to get the downloads. In office, I mean like in the professional works, so we will be doing part of one big team. So if we are doing slowly, I mean like everything together, we will be learning a lot of things and we will be exploring a lot of things. For me personally, like if you want me to do one feature in my personal apps, maybe like one day, same feature, if I work in company, maybe it may take me 3 or 4 days. Because in personal apps, like I can take more risk and I don't need to write unit test. And so I will not be like very careful. But in the real production app in the office companies, like we need to put a real effort. So I will not mainly use AI. I will use the AI small, but I will review and do some proper testing because it's like a lot of users are there. So we should not cause any production issues are there.
But then you said like when you are working on your own, you are the designer, you are the product manager, you are the developer, like, and then you are thinking of the real pain, what it takes to club them together and then build a one product, right? How do you think how shift has happened from working as an engineer from an engineer's perspective, and now working from a perspective of taking product mindset also while developing a feature and product, because now you are the product manager
Uh,
also and you are the engineer.
yeah, actually, my I start maybe like the product minded developer, the product minded mindset. It start from my university. So in the university, I built some. I was for the Microsoft Imagine Cup competition. One of my two ideas like was selected for Microsoft Imagine Cup National Finals. So I want to be like it's maybe in my blood. So I want to build some products which will help users. Yeah, one time like I built one project is like give some solution for the expired product to sell to the public. Basically, in the barcode, I will put expiration date as well. When they are scanning, it will be like alert the users and they can't put the bill. And the next is like I built a game for visually impaired people. So it's like for the 3D sound, like they need to wear the headset, like the gameplay, like when they come to car, like they need to swipe to move out. I don't know how to code properly. Like we did the very basic prototype and we didn't go to the first position. We are in the top finalist only. I got some like how to tell, got some awards, got some prize money also. So this will be getting like inspiring for me to build some products. So when I'm thinking about like building products, I don't think about Android or iOS. I think about like how we can build the products only.
This is not a new thing for you. You was already coming up with the ideas and the product and the real problem what users are facing, and then coming up
Hmm.
for this with the solution of it, right?
Yeah, perfect. Yeah.
How do you draw the line between engineering detail and the user experience? Because you are coming with the idea, you are coming with the what people are facing the difficulty. But then there is a own challenges of engineering, right? There's own challenges of engineering detail, like how to convert that idea into reality. And then
Mm.
how do you draw that line? Because sometimes you have to negotiate on the on the requirement. You cannot come up
Mm.
with all those requirements. We cannot fulfill all the requirements. We have to negotiate. How do you draw that line? How do you draw a line between engineering detail and the user experience or product requirement, kind of?
Mm.
How do you think you can balance out both, that user experience also gets satisfied and engineering feasibility also gets satisfied?
So basically correct. So for developers, we are in the mindset like writing the code clean and following architecture. It actually not give the real value to the users. We should be thinking about the user experience basically. So the we need to think it not like say engineer. We need to think for the users. Basically, like what I can think about is like for users, correct. So how we can improve the user experience. For example, one example we can add some haptic feedback. So we can put some animations, transitions. So basically, like for the app start time, correct? For the app start, app splash screen will not take, no, should not take much time. So we should be directly come to the screen. So users should be access the app quickly. So these are like for the user experience side, these are like very important thing. Also, like I am more passionate about like building apps for everyone. Even like the visually impaired peoples also should be able to use the app. So we need to when we are building, so we need to think about their experience as well. How one of the visually impaired peoples they can use the app. We can add some accessibility setting. So this kind of things we need to think instead of like writing clean code and doing proper architecture also.
Got it. So think like a user, code like an engineer, solid engineer,
Yeah,
right? Got it. So any iOS development, nuances that helps you in product decisions that you're making for your own product now, like how, like
yeah.
the way we use Android and iOS is different, right? And your app
Mhm.
is on both Android and iOS or just on iOS?
Now it's only in iOS
Just on
only.
iOS. So do you have
Yeah.
like did you see that iOS development is making some impact on your product decisions?
Yeah. I like I said like App Store search engine optimization, ASO, and A/B testing. Now the product manager is also doing the A/B testing. So A/B testing, maybe the feature flags, which when we need to enable the feature flags, when we need to disable it. Maybe the main thing is analytics. So we need to see like from the user, okay, which feature user is using more. So this kind of things, this will be like very easy to get some product decisions.
Understood. Understood. So, do you think like this is a future when an engineer is thinking like a product manager and this one person will decide everything? Like he can code, he or she can code also, or he or she can think like a product manager also. Do you think this is a future? Or do you think this has a future for you? Like you want to go beyond code and be like a product manager also?
I believe in delegation. If I am doing every task myself, it's not efficient. So even if I am not there, like my company or like my product will run. So like I believe in like building a correct team. But for me personally, I need to learn everything so that I can be a good leader, maybe basically.
So far, we reached to a place where we working in our own team, communicating with other team from a user experience, think like a product manager, having a sense of product in mind, and then do the engineering. So that's great so far. But I want to know, like anyone from an engineer's perspective, like if we see Facebook came to the market, right? And they came with scrolling, like endless scrolling, right? They were having the performance issues, but engineers fixed those. So how and what does an expert iOS engineer means to you in 2025, with whom you can say that whatever idea you come with, we can have that idea into reality as an app. And if we face any issues, these engineers or this engineer will sort it out. So, what an expert iOS engineer means to you in 2025?
So basically, I like you said correct. The performance, security, scalability, and how we can write maintainable codes. The velocity, how we are delivering the features quickly. This is also like because of I mean like we need to use AI efficiently to do some features in a short period of time without compromising like our quality, code quality, and also like maybe like we need to know how to mentor the team members, so how to work with team, how to collaborate with team. So if we are going to a leader, we need to explore some backend as well, backend web. So all the technologies we should be there. Yeah, these are like main skills, I guess.
Got it. And how do you think, like, since we are getting every year, Apple is coming with new, frameworks, ideas. Like this time they came up with that glass design, right? How do you stay updated with all those things? Because there's too much to do, too much to learn every year, right? How do you make yourself updated as a senior engineer, as an, expert in iOS? How do you think like one should be updated with all those frameworks and technologies?
We should follow every iOS developers will follow WWDC. This is like a must thing. And also like we have some community. So I like I said, there's a workshop there, Apple Developer Center. Build some community basically. Maybe you can connect with a lot of iOS developers in your LinkedIn. So they will be posting a lot of things, and you can get some. You can subscribe for some newsletter, Medium articles, and also like my way thing is like I got some good friends, good iOS developers. So we discuss like it's like win-win thing, correct? I will tell them like okay what I learned, so what I know. So they will be sharing their knowledge with us. So make good friends basically.
Definitely. One thing help from your answer is like Apple came with, the declarative way of performance for UI kit this year. So we can have a declarative approach like Swift UI in UI kit also. And I was not referring to WWDC video. I got to know from one of the newsletter, and I was very happy when I got it. So if you really want to be updated, having those newsletters and following some of the guy who are really into deep into this domain will help. And definitely what you said is like to have a friend in this particular space who are into staff engineering, when they know the depth of the language and the Apple ecosystem, that will also help. And also when you are senior, you have to mentor junior, and you have to coach them, right? How do you mentor like the junior developers? Because it's a really great skill to have, so that person and junior can come to you and seek help if they are not able to do anything, achieve anything, and perform anything. And that's our responsibility also when we get senior.
Building the trust basically. We are not like leader. We got their feedback, their thinking. So they come up with some solutions. Maybe like we can. discuss, okay, why we need to do this. We can discuss. It's not like junior, like leader or something. It's like teammate only, basically.
When you said like I got to know, like I was about to ask you about the values and the principles that you consider when you try to communicate with other team members and the juniors, but you already answered that particular thing because the trust is very important. Like that trust, with the trust that you trust them to do a task, and when they come up with any kind of solution, and how do you review that solution, how you make it better so that they also feel and they also learn, is a key skill which one a senior engineer should have, so that juniors can rely on them and learn under him or her. Correct. We discussed about our next, our iOS journey in 2025, but I really want to know in detail from you that what would be an iOS roadmap for anyone who wants to learn iOS in 2025?
I will say like Swift UI is must, and also like now the Vision OS is there, like iOS 26 design is there, like glass design. Lot of enhancements are there we can do. Like the Apple Intelligence, we can incorporate that one, and not only like iOS, like we need to think about like backend as well. Basically, like we need to be like communicate with all the teams as well efficiently. So these are the things, yeah, maybe.
The sequence would be like to learn Swift UI. Once the Swift and Swift UI is done, then you go for combine, and then combine is done,
Right.
then you look for like, okay, how can I have a local storage, Swift data or core data? Then you can think of like, okay, how one can move from now network architecture, key data scalable and modular network architecture in that way. So like step by step we can go. So we can start with the Swift and Swift UI and then gradually move perfectly. That's the correct way. That's how one should learn, right? We will never be expert on the very first day. This is the last question we have for today. This is last but not the least. Like, what advice you want to give to the people who are fresher who just want to start?
Yeah, maybe like don't just follow the tutorials, do some real apps. And maybe for iOS mean like Swift UI is like basic foundation. These are like must skills. In the freshers we can take much risk as is possible. Like you want to travel abroad, you can go.
Definitely. Wow. Wow. Take risk, make more mistakes, learn from them, and grow early. Great. And what about junior who wants to move to who wants to grow?
Instead of just completing the task, like learn the basic architecture, how to write performance code, secure codes, how we can write the code which will be like reusable, the scalability. Yeah, think about like this before writing the code.
A senior engineer who wants to lead a big team or big product of engineering.
The key point is like the skills. Maybe like you need to be strong in the all skills, and the second thing is communication skills. So you should be like collaborating with all the team members efficiently, and maybe like you should be like mentoring the team. Like you should be having a good bond with all the team members, and the guiding them and trusting them, the delegating the task to the correct people, and you should know like when to write code, when to delegate this code to some other persons. Yeah, this kind of thing.
Delegation is important. With this, thank you, Ahil. Thank you for your time. It was a great podcast with you.
Yeah, thanks for this actually opportunity.
Thank you. Thank you anytime.